Donald Trump wants to bring back stop and frisk policies and give police immunity from prosecution. He's the one who's told police don't be too nice when you arrest somebody, encouraging them to rough up suspects. And then we see Tyreek Hill being put down on the ground, face down in Miami on the way to the Dolphins game, and all these Trump supporters in MAGA will come out and say, oh, well, he deserved it. He's probably doing something wrong. These people are not on your side, folks. If you're a black person and you're supporting this, not to mention the Haitian migrants baloney crap that they're putting out there, the lies, the racist distortions of who we are. How does any black person in America, any black man or black woman look at this and defend this crap?
How does Byron Jim Crow Donalds, whose family is from the Caribbean, defend the disgusting remarks from his party around Haitians? And mind you, like I said earlier, the person who killed this cat and put it in her mouth was not Haitian, nor was she an immigrant. So how does Jim Crow Byron Donalds, he loves Jim Crow. He said that Jim Crow kept the black family together. How does he reconcile this kind of bullshit? How does the Wesley Hunts, how does Cotton to Congress Tim Scott, how do y'all reconcile this bullshit? I just really want to know because when Biden said you ain't black if you don't vote for me, that was shameful, and he apologized for it within hours, as he should. But Trump and the GOP minions, and at some point, Trump is going to bring up Haitians and eating cats at some point. He's going to bring it up. It's going to happen.
I hope he does, but I doubt that he will, because I don't think it's going to come up. But maybe it will.
No. I mean during a rally, a stop, not a debate.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at some point he's going to, just like he brought up the woman Imani Khalif that was accused of being a transgender boxer at the Olympics, and she wasn't. Now she's suing some people. You know what I'm saying? It's just, how do y'all, the black folks in the party, who remind us, hey, I am a black Republican, here's what I can do. How do you defend something as disgusting as that about your fellow Caribbean brothers and sisters when it's misinformation and it's being spread by the vice presidential nominee? Just make it make sense. I just don't understand.
Well, I think you answered your own question, which I assume is semi-rhetorical, but I think
I understand.
You're right. Grift. That's how you explain it. But I love that you have these nicknames. There's a Cotton to Congress, Tim Scott, and what did you say,
Jim Crow Donalds. He says Jim Crow kept the black family together. That's like saying slavery kept black unemployment down. I mean, this is just crazy. I just don't get it. Like, how do y'all reconcile this?
I always go back to this quote from Toni Morrison. So she says, the function of racism is distraction. And the reason why they talk about this, Haitian migrants or black jobs or whatever other baloney they're talking about from day to day.
CRT,
they want to distract you. They don't have a plan to create more jobs. They don't have a plan to raise your wages. They don't have a plan to cut inflation. As much as they talk about how much they hate inflation, where's Donald Trump's plan to cut inflation? They don't have a plan for healthcare. Donald Trump said he's going to repeal and replace Obamacare, replace it with something better. He never did after 4 years. It was a big joke. They don't have a plan for infrastructure. Trump said he was going to have an infrastructure week every day. Never did that. They don't have a plan for education. How are you going to be able to afford college or to be able to fix our schools? They don't have a plan for people who are struggling with student loan debt, even though Biden is trying to help solve that problem and the Republicans are suing against that. They don't have a plan for affordable housing. They don't have a plan to fix the criminal justice system. They tanked the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. They don't have a plan for voting rights. They killed the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. They don't have a plan for the border. When we had a bipartisan border deal that James Lankford from Oklahoma came up with, a Republican from Oklahoma, Trump told the Republicans to kill the plan because they didn't want Biden to have a win. So they don't have any issues to run on except their lies. So all they can do is create this foment this fear and hatred. That's all they got. That's a distraction. That's why I think Toni Morrison's message is so resonant. When you have nothing else, all you do is you encourage people to be fearful of the other guy. Point over there, point over there. Look, that poor immigrant, that poor black person, that poor trans person. That's your problem, not the rich white billionaires like Donald Trump who are skating away with no accountability.
Before you go, one thing that I would like to see Vice President Kamala Harris do, and really every Democrat needs to do this, they need to debunk this narrative that Trump was good with the economy.
Oh, my God.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Trump ruined America's economy faster than he ruined Atlantic City, New Jersey. and I was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey. He gutted Atlantic City, New Jersey. He is the bankruptcy president. Anybody who's been in New York for a long time knows about his financial disasters. And this idea, and
Yeah.
I need, if there's one policy point, I need Kamala Harris to hammer in that Trump was an economic disaster even before the COVID-19 pandemic. The numbers were already going in the wrong direction, and he inherited a good economy from a man named President Barack Obama. And Bush inherited a good economy from a man named Bill Clinton. I really need them to hammer in, this is a lie. If she has to fact check one thing, it is categorically untrue that Trump was successful with the economy. His tax break hurt the middle class. The unemployment was going in the wrong direction. How do you inherit a great economy and then ruin it in one term? It took Bush 2 terms. That's the one thing I need Vice President Kamala Harris and every single Democrat. It is a Jim Crow lie that Donald Trump was good with the economy. He's not good with his own finances, with Atlantic City. He can't even pay small contractors. But 4 years ago, we were in an economic hell. An economic hell. That's the one thing I need them to hammer in, because when they mention the economy, they kind of like, I feel like some Democrats deflect as if there isn't a good talking point. What are they're lying.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything for the economy. He ruined it. He gutted it in 4 years like I've never seen in my lifetime before.
Yeah, I think, the point is that Donald Trump is good at one thing. He's a salesman. He's not a businessman. He's not a successful businessman. He was a salesperson. He's good at selling a lie. And he talks about it even in the Art of the Deal, how he would create fictional scenarios to convince the investors that things were going on in his construction sites that weren't really taking place. And he sold this lie to the American people through a TV show called The Apprentice. And people believe that stuff, unfortunately. But he had, as you mentioned, 6 bankruptcies. 6 bankruptcies. How do you go bankrupt running a damn casino? The house always wins, they say. But Trump had 6 bankruptcies before he even got to the White House. Then he gets to the White House. He has the worst jobs record of any president in history. He loses 2.7 million jobs under his watch. We have unemployment, black unemployment spikes to high levels that we hadn't seen since the Reagan administration. Another person who's a good salesperson lying about their record. We also see an addition of $7.8 trillion to the national debt during the Trump administration, as much as they talk about deficits and debt. And we were in a crisis 4 years ago. People couldn't even find a roll of toilet paper. People talking about, oh, 4 years ago, things were so much better. People couldn't find toilet paper 4 years ago. The economy was in the tank. Millions of people lost their jobs. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris had to pass the American Rescue Plan to get us out of that ditch. People say, oh, well, Trump gave me a check. He gave me a stimulus check. I got my stimmy. Trump didn't give you no damn stimmy. That was the Democrats in Congress that approved that. Republicans fought that, and even Trump fought that too. Trump delayed the stimulus check you got because he wanted to put his damn name on it, which no president ever done before. It usually comes from the Department of the Treasury, but Trump wanted to put his name on it to give you the impression that he did something. But the guy is a salesman. That's the whole point. He's a con artist, and I can't believe that there are people who are still dumb enough to believe the con. Wake up, folks! If you believe Donald Trump is a successful businessman, you need to wake up. I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn because that ain't the case.